Hey, welcome to the show. And this week, no guests, just me. And for the next 10 to 15 minutes, I wanted to talk to you about one thing that can make a very big difference to your business if you are a trading coach, performance coach, any kind of coach really, a prop firm, maybe a startup with a fintech type app that helps people invest smarter. And that one thing is a brand story video. Now, why should you want one? Why should you need one? Well, put in the simplest terms, to form a deeper connection with your audience. And when I say audience, I don't just mean from an acquisition point of view. I also mean the people who are working with you. You know, they're either customers who've already come in, they're using your service in some way. Also the people who work for you or with you. And then there's a third group, which is venture capital. At some point you want to grow your business over time. How are you going to persuade investors to take a punt on what you're doing and enable you to grow? Well, a brand story video will help you develop a much deeper trust with the people you interact with. Why is that? Because we relate best even, to story. It's how we form friendships, whether we are aware of it or not. We don't form friendships talking about the late train or the rain or, that, as we know, is small talk. We actually form deeper relationships through relating our difficult moments, how we overcame them, who's helping us, who are we helping. These stories that develop over time. If you go as far as getting a brand story video, it's an exercise in understanding your journey. What are your origins? How did you get into, say, trading? Maybe you didn't join a bank and just leave the bank and then become a trader on your own. Maybe you're a builder originally. I've talked to all kinds of traders and their backgrounds are quite different. It could be engineering, could be a policeman, could be somebody in the army, could be a builder. Myself, I'm a trader and come from a creative background as a copywriter. So we all get into this thing from different avenues. We have different stories, but very many of these stories have certain common points. And that's how we as traders talk to each other. We obviously compare those journeys and turning points and find things in common and build trust among each other, especially if you've developed a trading coaching company. So you're working with other coaches and you don't just work with those to make money. You work with them because you get along and you relate to them and so on. You share similar values. So a video is not just a thing that looks pretty and you do a good job. It will look pretty, it will look cinematic, and it will be a kind of immersive experience for anyone coming across it. It certainly isn't just what I'm doing now, which is talking to camera and what have you. And this is my discussion for the day, if you will. And we've got just a basic camera. We haven't even got any music and what have you. So it'll be a proper scripted job, shot cinematically with sound, like VO and sound design and so on. When you undertake to do one of these videos, it's an exercise in understanding your origin, your mission, and your vision. And so not only are you working on a marketing asset, you're also getting to understand why you're doing this in the first place. You're kind of going in deeper as to your purpose and the purpose of the people with you. And that's important because we're all in such a rush to have success and develop and grow and all the rest of it. I work as a creative in a number of companies where this rush to get things out the door is so often counterproductive. It's not thought through, it's not planned properly. I so often want to tell people, let's just pull back a bit and think about what we're doing here and what we want to achieve. Not just let's get it out the door. Making a video is kind of an exercise in looking beyond next week where you've got some promo discount on whatever you're doing. Your whole undertaking here is to create, in a sense, a human version of your brand. Something that's got a pulse, a heartbeat, something with warmth, something that can build trust with the people who interact with you. And in that film, as well as telling your story, you show how what you've been doing has benefited other people. And that process, when we as a viewer coming across that, we form a connection with you because we start to trust, we start to see evidence of you in action, if you will. It's not you just, putting words on an ad or shouting out a promo, 20% off this, whatever it is, We're seeing you in your environment, your day-to-day, with perhaps some dramatization of events that happened along the way, some interaction with people, not to be doing it as a kind of, this is all so easy and look at the car in the background and the swimming pool. Not one of those showing off type things, but rather something much more grounded, more real. Because the whole exercise is not to show off, it's to attract. Most of us don't like show-offs, Show-offs are mostly either objectionable and or boring. And you don't really want to be doing business with those sorts of people. At some point, we just know in our gut it'll end badly. So your video is an opportunity to be real. Yes, of course, you want to show your success to a degree, but insofar as it's relevant to the people who come across your video, across your brand, they want to feel attracted to you. They want to feel that it speaks to them and it's relevant to their lives, their experience. What you're trying to do here is create a kind of echo with your audience. And as I said, the beauty of the Brand Story Video project is it satisfies not just the task of acquiring new customers, but also of kind of reconnecting with the people who've already joined you. And then the future, which is part of your sort of vision statement in the story, is namely to grow. And to grow, you need investment. So it serves all those points. And also, when you're on a shoot for a Brand Story Video, you can shoot in such a way that the material can be repurposed for different social platforms. So for example, you can shoot vertically as well as horizontally. You can use the vertical material for different platforms. If you shoot enough material in the shoot, you can then repurpose some of that. You can cut it in different ways. You can have different edits. You can have a 4-minute edit. You can have a 1-minute edit. And that gives you versatility across all platforms. And yet consistency, because it's all about your story. So people are beginning to feel you have a voice. This is your brand. This is what you stand for. It's not just random videos that pop up with you talking to camera about the latest AI or whatever it is, or an event that is kind of, again, it's not evergreen for one thing. It's an event. You might be having another similar event later on, but they all look pretty much the same. An event, a whole room of people, chairs, 1 or 2 people talking to camera. That could be part of your brand story video, but a small part. It's part of what you do. But the story is what you want to get across. The story, the life, the opportunities. A sense of scale, a sense of purpose comes through. In a way, you're kind of selling a dream, but without selling. You're attracting, you're bringing people in to share this with you. If you haven't yet gotten around to working on a brand story video, and you're, as I said, a training coach, performance coach, anything kind of small to medium in the fintech space, do look me up. I'm not just a podcaster. I also work in copy, creative, and as a film director. More than happy to have a chat. Hope that helps.